Hello everyone. We are going to discuss about a very important topic in C, which is functions. We'll be going to discuss about how to call functions from the main program and also the usage of nested functions in C. So why functions? What is the importance of function? Function is basically a block of code that performs a specific task. For example, if you want to find the factorial of a number, it can be written within a function to do the specific task of finding the factorial. An advantage of function is it makes one easier to understand the program, and also reusability of code is very important while designing a program. So let us consider an example. If you want to find the factorial of a number between n and m within a range, so you want to calculate the factorial of n, then n plus 1, n plus 2 up to m. So what you can do is write a function to find the factorial of a number, and then in the main function write a for loop and then call this factorial function to calculate the factorial of each number up to m. So next we are going to discuss about the two types of function in C: standard library functions and user defined function. Standard library function is defined in header files. Examples of standard library functions are printf, scanf, sqrt, etc. So printf is basically used to send formatted output to the screen. It is defined in stdio header file. So if you are using printf or scanf functions in your program, then you need to include stdio header file in your program. Similarly, sqrt is used to find the square root of a number. Similarly, many such standard library functions exist. So user defined functions is created by user. Examples can be finding the sum of two numbers, product of two numbers, or finding the factorial of a number. These functions are all defined by the user. So how does a function works? So you can see the basic syntax of using a function in a program. Here we have a main function where the function is called using the function name, which is defined in this program using a return type which can be void, int, float, etc. And then function name, which can be given by the user. Like if you want to add two numbers, you can give add. If you want to find the factorial of a number, you can give fact, factorial, etc. As it is fully dependent on the user. And then the body of the function will be containing the statements to execute that specific task. And then the value which is calculated from this function will be returned to the main function. Or if it is a void function, then if it is an int, return type is int, then a result like int value will be returned to the main function. If it is void, then nothing will be returned to the main function. So here is an example to illustrate the same. This program is to find the sum of two numbers. So this is the main program. Here we are entering two numbers, n1 and n2, from the user and calculating the result of or sum of these two numbers. So these two numbers are passed to this function defined add numbers. Here you can see, and then this function will calculate the result, that is sum, and this result will be returned, and then it will be coming to the main program, and then the sum will be getting the value of this result, and we are printing the sum. So we have three important terms to keep in mind while using functions in a program. First one is function prototype. So function prototype is also known as function declaration. This is a function prototype or function declaration. As you can see, it doesn't have a function body. It ends with a semicolon. It is very important. Also, it has a syntax of function prototype can be defined like it has a return type, int or any return type, and then it has a function name which is defined here, add numbers, and then the parameters used and the their return type. Also here an important thing to note is that if we are using or if we are defining this function before the main function, then we don't need to use this function prototype. Here in this program we can see that after the main function this function is defined, so we need to give the function prototype or function declaration. So another important term is function call. Function call means calling the function from the main function by using the function name and the parameters to be passed. That is, the value of n1 and n2 will be given to a and b. The next important term we have to discuss is function definition. Function definition means basically the function body here which we have defined. So it has return type, function name, and the parameters and their return type, and the body which does the execution of that specific task. Now next we're going to discuss about nested functions in C. So some of us think that nested function is like defining a function inside a function, but it is wrong. Defining a function inside a function is actually called lexical scoping, which is not supported in C. But C supports function declaration, that is declaring a function inside a function. So let us consider an example. Here you can see that a view function is defined inside function name called fun. This view function is called in the main function, but this is actually not possible, not supported. But you can use this method. Here this view function is declared with the keyword o2, and then it is called, which that function is declared inside the main function. Thank you.